All right. Hello, everyone. I want to spend some time to address the difference between finding the roots of a number and finding the square root when it involves the radical or a higher root when it involves a radical with an index of a number. Okay? Two different things. All right. So let's address finding the root. So if you see the instruction saying find the roots of a number, so for example, find the roots of uh, 36, for example. When we talk about the roots, we talk about the product of two numbers that are the same that will be equal to 36. And the first thing comes in mind would be, well, the root has to be 6. The root is 6 because 6 times 6 equal to 36. However, when we talk about the roots, we're also talking about the negative part, right? Because the root, if it's -6, we say the root is -6 because -6 times -6 is also equal to 36. Okay? And actually, I want to be more specific. Here we're trying to find the second root, right? So find the second root because, right, 6 times 6 is 36. If we were talking about find the third root, right? Or third root, the roots, if any, of 8, and I'm just going to put -8. Then in this case, the root is -2 because -2 times -2 times -2 is equal to -8. Okay, so the root is negative. But the root is not +2, right? So it's not +2 because 2 times 2 times 2 is not equal to -8. Okay, for this case here, it's only -2. Okay, and then you can go on and on. So usually when you're trying to find the even root, then you will get 2 values for the roots. When it's odd, like the third root, it will be only 1 if the result is negative or positive. So if I wanted to find the third root of +8, then it would be 2, and only 2 because 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 is equal to 8. But for an even root, or even index, whatever you want to call it here, for even one, then you will have 2 numbers, because when you multiply those 2 values, it will result in a positive number. Okay? And obviously, you will never have for a second, fourth, and sixth root, you will never have a negative number, right? You're not going to find the roots of a negative number. Okay, that's for the roots. Now, let's say I want to find the square root of 36. Not 36, look like 86. 36. Finding the square root of a number or of 36 is not the same thing as finding the roots of 36. 2 different things. Related, but 2 different things. So finding the root, so the radical here, especially the square root, is called the principal square root. Okay, and the principal square root tells you that it represents only the positive root of 36 in this case. So here, the square root of 36, we're going to use color here, the square root of 36 only represent the root of 6, the root when it's 6. That's it. That's all it represents. So here, the square root of 36, so that's why when you take the square root, when you use the radical, you only see one value. In this case, it would be 6. Because they only represent the positive root of 36. So in this case, this is it. That's the positive root of 36. Okay? Now, if you want to represent the negative part, then you have to find, so in this case it would be find the negative. So you put negative on the outside and you put next to it square root of 36. That's the only time that you're going to represent the negative side. Okay, so here, to represent the negative side, you have to put a negative here, and then you have the negative root. Okay, so in this case, this represents the negative root of 36. Okay, so I just wanted to kind of clarify, and so in your discussion, they're asking you for finding the roots of a number. They're not asking you finding the square root with the radical. So make sure you are able to differentiate between the two here. Okay, so that was it. That's all I wanted to cover. Hopefully it was helpful. And then don't forget to look at the weekly live sessions. I have some more problems there, and it should be helpful.